Hello, Queen. Have you ever stopped to think that the biggest saboteur of your confidence might be you? Maybe you wonder why some women seem so secure in themselves while you're always doubting your own abilities. But take a deep breath. There is nothing wrong with you. The truth is, you've been conditioned to develop habits that, without realizing it, are slowly destroying your self confidence, blocking opportunities, and stopping you from living the life you truly desire. But here's the good news: this can be fixed. In today's video, we're going to bring awareness to 7 destructive habits that undermine your confidence. And most importantly, I'll show you how to break free from them so you can finally feel more secure, powerful, and in control of your own life. If you're ready to stop sabotaging yourself and take full ownership of your confidence, stay with me until the end. This video could literally transform your life. Are you ready? Then let's get started. 1. Caring too much about what others think. Queen, let me ask you something. How many opportunities have you let slip away because you were too worried about what others might think? How many times have you changed your posture, your clothes, or even your words? Not because you wanted to, but to please others or avoid judgment? I bet it's happened more times than you'd like to admit. But here's the problem: the more you try to please everyone, the more you put yourself second. And as a result, the less you feel fulfilled. This vicious cycle creates an emotional dependency on external validation, slowly eroding your self-confidence. When you care too much about other people's opinions, you disconnect from your own essence and intuition. This makes you hesitant to make decisions and afraid to take risks, which holds back your growth and makes you more vulnerable to manipulation and toxic relationships. And the worst part? Diminishing yourself doesn't guarantee that people will like you. No matter what you do, there will always be someone who criticizes you. So tell me, is it really worth giving up control of your own life to please others? Here's a tip to help you break free from this need for approval. Whenever you notice yourself hesitating to make a decision out of fear of what others might think, ask yourself, if I didn't care about anyone else's opinion, what would I do in this situation? That answer reveals what you truly want. So, take a deep breath, trust yourself, and do what feels right for you. The more you practice this, the stronger your confidence will become. Now that we've uncovered this first destructive habit, let's move on to the second, one of the biggest enemies of self-confidence. 2. The vicious cycle of negative thinking. Let me ask you an important question. If you talk to your friends the way you talk to yourself, would they still want to be around you? Think about it. How many times a day do you catch yourself saying things like, I'm not good enough, I can't do anything right, this isn't for me? If these phrases are part of your daily thoughts, know that every time you reinforce negative beliefs about yourself, you are programming your mind to fail before you even try. Our brain believes whatever we repeat constantly. If you keep telling yourself that you're incapable, your brain will look for ways to prove it's true. This is called a self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe you're going to fail. Your brain switches to failure mode. You act with less confidence. Bad results follow. This reinforces your negative belief. And just like that, you've created a vicious cycle of self-sabotage. Now, let me ask you again. How much longer will you keep believing in a lie you either created yourself or absorbed from others? The good news is that if the way you think got you into this cycle, the way you think can also get you out. Here's a powerful technique to break this cycle. Whenever a negative thought pops up, pause and reframe it. Instead of thinking, I'm not capable, tell yourself, this might be difficult, but I am capable of learning. Instead of thinking, I always fail, remind yourself, I've overcome challenges before and I can do it again. This isn't just positive thinking, this is neuroscience. The more you strengthen positive thoughts about yourself, the more your confidence grows. So, promise me something? Starting today, no more putting yourself down. Now, let's move on to the third habit that's draining your self-confidence without you even realizing it. 3. The social media trap, the danger of comparison, Queen. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been feeling fine about your life, but after just 5 minutes on Instagram, suddenly you start feeling inadequate? You're casually scrolling through your feed, and then that friend posts stunning pictures from her trip to Europe. A fitness influencer shows off a perfect body. Another entrepreneur announces she hit 6 figures in revenue, and before you know it, you start feeling behind, as if your life isn't as good as theirs. Sound familiar? If so, it's time to stop this now, Queen. The truth is, most people only post their highlight reels. But what they don't show is the nights spent crying, the insecurities and frustrations, the days when they felt like a complete failure. You are comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's stage performance. And here's a reality check. Real life doesn't have Instagram filters, not yours, not theirs. Now tell me, how many times have you dismissed your own accomplishments because you were too busy looking at someone else's greener grass? If the answer is too many times, then it's time to change that. Here's a powerful way to escape this trap. Whenever you notice yourself comparing your life to someone else's, ask yourself, what did this person do to get where they are? Instead of feeling small, what can I learn from this? Am I seeing their full reality or just a polished highlight? And most importantly, your only focus should be becoming a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. Your commitment is to your personal growth, not to an imaginary competition. Now, let's talk about an even sneakier habit that might be secretly destroying your confidence. 4. The self-deprecation trap. How many times after receiving a compliment have you responded with something like, "Oh, it wasn't that great. It was just luck. Anyone could have done it." If this sounds familiar, pay attention. This is a sign of self-deprecation. Maybe you do this without even noticing, thinking you're just being humble. But this isn't humility. It's self-sabotage. Humility is recognizing that you still have things to learn. Self-deprecation is not acknowledging what you've already accomplished. And it gets worse. When you downplay your own achievements, you are teaching your brain to doubt your own worth. Even worse, you're teaching others to do the same. Think about it. If even you don't acknowledge your abilities, how can you expect others to? So, starting today, whenever you receive a compliment, instead of brushing it off, try responding like this. "Thank you, I worked hard for this. I'm glad you noticed. That really means a lot to me." Accepting compliments with gratitude doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you aware of your own value. And do you know what happens when you start embracing compliments? You strengthen your self-confidence. You train your brain to recognize your strengths. You validate your own effort. So, Queen, no more tearing yourself down with words. Before we move on to the next habit, take a second to like this video. This helps spread this message to even more incredible women like you. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on empowering content. Now, let's move on to the fifth habit. Could this one also be secretly destroying your confidence? Fifth, the addiction to blaming others. The victim mentality. Queen, it might feel easier and even comforting to blame other people or circumstances for your failures and mistakes. But here's the truth. As long as you place all the responsibility on external factors, you are giving away your own power. Every time you say, "I can't do it because no one supports me," "It didn't work out because the world is unfair," what you're really saying is, "I have no control over my life." And that's simply not true. I'm not saying circumstances don't affect your life. Of course they do. But there is one thing no one can take away from you: the power to decide what to do about those circumstances. And the fact is, if you want to build real confidence, you need to take full responsibility for your life. There is no other way. So, next time you catch yourself wanting to blame someone or something, ask yourself, what can I do to change this situation? What is within my control? What small steps can I take right now to move forward? Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. If you want change, you have to create it. A confident woman doesn't wait for permission to live the life she desires. She takes the reins and creates the opportunities she deserves. So, are you ready to stop blaming others and start taking control? Now, let's move on to the sixth habit, one of the biggest confidence killers. 6. Lowering your standards, the danger of not challenging yourself. Queen, have you ever noticed how some people sabotage themselves before even trying? They say things like, "I'm not good at this, so I won't even try. I'll give it a shot, but I already know it's going to fail. I prefer not to have high expectations, so I won't be disappointed." This happens because the fear of failure makes you lower your standards. But here's the problem. If you never challenge yourself, you never grow. Over time, this turns into a vicious cycle of low self-esteem and stagnation. Now, take a moment and ask yourself, what do you truly want to achieve, but have been holding yourself back from even trying? Because the truth is, the biggest mistake you can make isn't failing. The biggest mistake is not even trying. And remember, you will never feel confident about something you've never done. So, starting today, whenever you catch yourself playing small, reframe your thoughts. I may not be good at this yet, but I can learn. I've never tried this before, so I can't assume I'll fail. I am capable of improving, one step at a time. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes from repetition. The more you challenge yourself, the stronger your self-confidence becomes. Now, let's move on to the seventh destructive habit. This one might be keeping you stuck in the past and sabotaging your confidence. 7. Living in the past. The trap of dwelling on mistakes. Queen, how many times have you spent hours, days, or even weeks mentally replaying something that went wrong? If this happens often, you might be trapped in the cycle of rumination. But pay attention. Rumination and reflection are two very different things. Reflection. You learn from the past and grow. Rumination. You replay mistakes over and over without finding solutions, which creates anxiety and insecurity. Now, let me ask you, has dwelling on your past mistakes ever actually fixed them? The answer is no. So, stop wasting your energy going in circles. Remember, the past only has power over you if you keep feeding it. I know it's not easy. I've been there too. But next time your mind tries to drag you back into past failures, try this. Find the lesson. What can I learn from this? Set a time limit. I'll allow myself 5 minutes to think about this, then I'll move on. Redirect your focus. Take a deep breath and bring your attention back to the present. Blaming yourself won't change the past, but changing your actions will shape your future. Now that you've discovered the 7 habits that have been destroying your self-confidence, let me ask you, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Because, Queen, knowledge without action changes nothing. And remember, the woman you want to become already exists inside you. Now, it's time to set her free. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. I'm always bringing content to help you empower yourself, transform your life, and live in alignment with your true essence. You are incredible, Queen. See you in the next video.